We are streaming, and let's switch that to live chat. Viewers waiting. Oh, there was a viewer waiting.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Can't wait.
Okay, so that's good there. We have one viewer right now. It says, excellent connection.
That's nice.
Excellent. Makes me think of like Bill and Ted or something.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Cool.
All right. Wiki Bobby's there. Okay, so he must have been one of the first viewers. There's a few more. And yeah, we'll give it a few minutes.
Please do.
Everyone's taking a bathroom break.
I'm taking a bath.
Getting a refill.
After that horrible movie.
Yeah, maybe
You know,
grabbing
the
pajamas.
The movie wasn't that bad. It was actually not too bad.
Bone Jangler here. He says, party on. Excellent.
Indeedy do.
Jennifer Delaney's here. We hope you're feeling better, Miss Jennifer.
Mm-hmm.
We hope that you're getting all the rest you need.
Cool.
It's always excellent in Aurora, Illinois. Awesome.
As she said that, this is, and other people have said too that not just our show, but like, and I found that this same exact thing when I was going through some stuff, like especially shows where you can interact with people or that are just sort of like more niche, no matter what helps you get through your day, or whatever you're going through. I mean, that's the cool thing about the human condition, I think, is that we can actually, cater our what makes us, because it is true, like they say, laughter's the best medicine. Well, so is any sort of thing that makes you feel good or content, comfort stuff,
Yeah, like Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah, anything that makes you feel that puts you in the zone of feeling good, and probably
like the Super Mario movie.
And which we're going to watch in the morning,
for Saturday morning cartoons
with pancake. I'll make you pancakes, all the stuff you like.
Yum.
But anything that releases the endorphins and the serotonin, whatever those like
good vibes
and actual chemicals, the brain chemicals that help people, and it's exactly the reason why.
I'm just gonna fix this thing over here real quick.
Exactly the reason why the placebo thing works in the medical industry.
Yes.
Because if people, sometimes they'll prescribe you...
Says Grim Gory, the YouTube doctor.
No, that's not a doctor.
I'm joking.
It's just, I didn't make this up, But they do use placebos in actual clinical trials because they found that there's a power within people to actually heal themselves or not. It's really interesting, the psychology of actual...
Well,
sometimes works.
Positive thinking can help with other things as well as modern
But how
medicine.
they know who it's going to help, I don't know. That I don't understand. But because obviously there's times where medication is the only way to do it.
Well, yeah, and of course
and I'm not talking about like pharmaceutical stuff because cures,
sometimes just connecting with a friend and having like a sense of community can help your mental well-being.
But there
it doesn't have to be like physical ailments. It can help you up here a little bit.
Absolutely, yeah. But I was talking about like medical things, like, but pharmaceuticals did not just exist like within the past 100 years. I mean, obviously there have been like medicinal things from just plants. That's where all this stuff comes from, anyway. But we've interacted with the planet since the beginning of time, and that's how we're all sort of connected.
Well, let's
with nature.
Switch gears here and read some comments.
No, we're gonna get real heavy tonight.
Let's not get too into that. Bone Jangler says people look forward to these shows all week, and that's really cool that they do.
Yes, and there's so many different kinds. Like what shows do I look forward to?
And he says, let's see. Oh, he's talking about pancakes and maple syrup.
That is good too. But you don't like maple syrup, you just like butter.
Yeah, on my pancakes, I just like a little bit of margarine on them, and I kind of eat them like without a fork.
I like
or anything.
Margarine and syrup.
Yeah, I don't. As a kid, I liked syrup when I was a young mummy, but
just don't give me that Incredible Hulk syrup.
As time went on, thousands of years, I decided I don't like syrup. Your taste buds change every so often.
Like I like King Vitamin now. I hated it as a kid, but I'll eat King Vitamin now, even though it's like Captain Crunch with no sugar.
I like granola type of cereals.
I love now I do, but
bran
as a wee ape, I
guess I like the boring cereals. Because I'm like, I think it tastes good, but other people might be like, oh, it needs more sugar. And I don't really like the sugar. Like some sugar cereals, like, Count Chocula is a special treat.
No. Well, when it was original, now the Monster cereals, God bless, are still out, but they're not the exact same ingredients as they were in the 70s. They're not. In the 80s, they're not the same thing. They're waxier. They're not as like sweet. It's a different thing.
Well,
but they're okay.
Yeah, every now and then, like I'll have, but most of the time I like my regular cereal.
Captain Crunch is still pretty much the same. I'll still indulge in some Crunch Berries or just regular Captain Crunch. Because it tastes Crunch, very similar.
Isn't that the one where you cut up the roof of your mouth?
It cuts the roof of your mouth, though.
Yeah.
Even the Family Guy or one of those shows did a thing where Captain Crunch denied that. But before even that show came out, if you eat that cereal, it'll cut the top of the roof of your mouth up.
It totally does. It totally does.
That's because you don't wait to let it soften up in the milk. If you let it soften up a little bit, it won't do that. But it
Next on the Mummy Monkey cereal chat.
Yeah, but this is all stuff people can relate to, Hey, anybody. Anyway, welcome everyone to another edition of the Mummy and the Monkey's Harry Scary Hangover. That's right. We haven't done one of these in a while, but this is our after show. After the Harry Scary Hangout, we just get together, converge, talk about whatever.
It's our after show chat show, and we were going to talk about some movies and shows that we've watched recently over the past couple weeks.
Oh boy.
And we could, talk about what movies and shows are good, what maybe ones you've seen recently.
Now we've been heavy into
other pop culture stuff.
Yeah. We've been heavy into letting things lapse, We don't go out to see. Well, here's the thing now. So there's a couple different things. You have stuff that's direct to streaming, stuff that's just on these different platforms like Showtime, Stars, Hulu, Netflix,
all that stuff.
All this. Yeah. Everyone had, CBS, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Et cetera, Peacock, blah blah blah. But they're pay services, so unless you're have a little extra dough, or you're not paying for cable outright, but you're using the money that you used to pay for cable and cherry picking the different platforms you want, which I think is great.
And some stuff is still theaters only, and then later on it's out.
I'm talking about that, yeah. But that's something else. We're talking about. Well, I was getting to that.
Okay.
So there's that, and then there's the new release movies, blah 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 blah.
Yes, you get the idea. So honestly, we haven't gone to see a movie in the theater in a long time.
Nor can we subscribe to every platform out there to get the streaming stuff that comes out.
Right, because it just economically it wouldn't make sense to pay for every subscription.
Well, what we did we kind of did. Well,
we do a couple subscriptions.
But the funny thing is that for years, people in general have paid well over $100 a month for cable. If you think about it, these services,
and a lot of people are ditching cable.
Yes, but these services are between maybe $8 and $9 to maybe $15 a month. So do the math. You can have 10 different platforms for the same amount you were paying for cable.
Right.
So that's a lot. I mean, you could really, if you didn't mind spending that kind of money.
Yeah, if you were already paying $100 a month in cable.
But now you could get.
You could get a good handful of subscription services.
Each one has
you
thousands
can pick your
of
own
things.
channels.
So it's crazy, So it's better choices now with the money that you were spending before. You can cut that in half and still have way too much to watch.
So we do stream some stuff, we do subscribe to some channels.
Yes.
But then we get a lot of stuff from the library.
Yeah, we do the waiting game.
We play the waiting game because usually these movies are out in 2 months. So if you could wait 2 months to see it, it'll be out.
And you can. How? Sit tight for about, 4 months, any given time.
Not even that, 2 months.
By the time you get to looking for stuff, you've already logged stuff that you haven't seen. So by the time you watch that, there's all the stuff that came out during that time, and it's great. The libraries, the local libraries, get everything because of the federal freedom for everybody to have access to that stuff.
Technically, your tax dollars go towards your local public library, so you might as well take advantage of visiting your library, and you get to get some movies and shows.
And if they don't have it, you just request it, and they'll email you when it's in, and they'll hold it for you. It's beautiful. I mean, I know this is not a new thing. They've been doing this even before the internet.
Yeah, right? So it's a great way to save some money, and you could watch it later. Now, I get it.
It's
Some
awesome.
people really want to go out and see that movie right when it comes out, and that's cool.
I get that, and I used to be that way with everything.
Yeah, but you don't have to do it with all the movies. You could pick one or two and then wait until later for the others.
And it's funny, too, because these streaming services, in the beginning, they would release, like, if they had a season of something, the whole season would come out. Boom, all 13 or whatever episodes came right out. Now they're doing week by week, which is,
And then people are mentioning Tubi and Pluto on Roku.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, those Roku channels are great.
But, Roku's starting to, like...
And the Roku channel has a lot of good stuff, too.
They're doing original programming.
Yeah.
Roku original stuff. And then Tubi, it's a monster. It's a rabbit hole of stuff. There's so much stuff. We've been finding oddball stuff like you all have out there, I'm sure. But and they have stuff that I didn't think anybody knew about. I type it in, like that movie we watched the other day, Ferocious Female Freedom Fighters.
Did we even watch the whole movie?
I did.
I think we turned
I did.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah. I watched it to the end, yeah.
I think I lost interest.
I love that movie. It's a Troma bought it up.
It's really cheesy.
It's great. It's a Filipino wrestling sort of movie, but it's got like a bunch of weird karate stuff in it.
Oh, that's the one. Okay, we did
Ferocious Female Freedom Fighters.
That's the one we did watch all the way through. There was some other like alien babe movie.
Cut that one right off. That was bad.
What was that? Femalien or something?
Femalien.
That one was pretty bad.
Yeah, it all took place in the one room. Is that the one?
It's like they wanted to be Barbarella so bad.
Oh, but then there was...
Is that the one?
Yeah.
Where they were like in outer space?
That was Femalien.
It was like the sexy babes from outer space.
That was a newer one. It was more current with the CGI stuff, but there was one we watched. It was like about aliens, which we didn't get that far in the movie. But most of the first half hour of the movie all took place in a motel room.
That's the one from the 70s.
I'm sorry, it also took place outside the motel room.
Yeah, the whole movie was filmed inside a motel room.
Oh, I'm sorry again. It was a motel room that had the conjoining doors, so there was at least 2 motel rooms and the outside of the motel.
It was pretty bad.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
That's the
one we turned off.
Yes, because we didn't feel like I didn't think we were going to ever get out of that.
That
space.
And the alien lady one.
The alien one was interesting. But we just were, I never did that in the past. I would never tap out of a movie. I'd stick with it to the bitter end. I'd choke it down and just deal with it. But lately, if I can't, my tolerance is so low now, like with really bad movies, because there's so much other good stuff we could be watching.
Yeah.
It's like, I could just pop this off.
Speaking of some better movies.
Yeah.
We did watch Megan.
Oh.
And,
I hated it.
Well, you hated it, but parts of it I liked.
It was okay.
Parts of it I hated. I had mixed feelings about the movie, and I still do.
There's better movies.
It's all over the place. Some people gave it really awesome reviews. Some people said it was crap. There were parts of it I liked. Like, she did look creepy.
That part was obvious.
She had that uncanny valley look to her.
100%.
Where it was just like a little bit off, and I'm thinking, like, why would anyone buy this doll for their child?
But there's better.
Because the whole story of the movie was this toy inventor creates this like robotic doll to be like the ultimate toy for kids.
Yeah.
And it ended up just going all kinds of creepy.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah, of course, like a Chucky type of thing.
But my problem with the movie was the structure of it. It was just. I mean, some of it might be because I understand a little bit about the toy business because that's sort of what I do. But I think most people would probably look at this. Well, that thing wouldn't be $10,000. They're like, this has a $10,000 price point.
Oh yeah, that robot doll would have been like
$3 million.
Exactly, because that technology is like so new right now.
But anyway, I know.
If they realistically tried to do that.
But my point with that movie is that now someone could, if you're thinking, you could say, do you like Star Wars? And I'd be like, of course I love the first couple Star Wars movies. Mm-hmm. Well, that's not true. Anything that you like, this, especially if it's not like a historical thing. Like,
it's a movie, yeah, we get it.
But the ability to suspend someone's disbelief so you don't even think about that's the trick for me. And that movie didn't do that for me. So I was always looking at stuff and picking it apart. But it didn't suck me in to not care about that.
Yeah, because they had these like unrealistic kind of things in there where I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, because what I'm saying is that every movie that I like, you could someone could totally pick it apart.
Yeah,
I get that, but
this one you, but like you couldn't ignore it. Is that what you meant?
Yeah, because
in other movies you could look over
any movie,
gloss over.
You could pick apart any movie that exists and say this is inaccurate, this is stupid. But the difference is, and it's an individual, it's a subjective thing.
Yeah.
The reason why people like any movie that they like or any book they read or whatever is because it plays their sensibilities and it plays to them to where their suspension of disbelief is totally marred and they don't care. They're locked in. This particular movie didn't do that for me.
Well, and the toy inventor is a young lady who, I guess, there was a tragedy in her family where she has to take care of her niece. She's like the caretaker for her niece. And she invents this doll, Megan, to kind of help her niece cope with...
She goes from inventing a Furby...
Yeah, some type of Furby type of toy.
Automaton.
To this creepy humanoid AI doll thing.
But more fantastic to me was the robot that she created in her college years that she had still, which would have been another $3 million NASA thing.
Like a lot of it, like you couldn't realistically get a,
if you built
but I guess it was supposed to be kind of out there.
And then when everything was very predictable, when they showed, I don't know. Anyway. Not my favorite. They're better. Go if you want to see a good, crazy doll movie. Just get the first Chucky movie from the '80s. Way better thing. It's voodoo and not science, but still good.
Yeah, but I liked parts of it, and what I think is cool because I've seen on YouTube reels where you see like people dressing up like the movie characters. Where for Halloween there were like kids dressing up like the Megan doll. And like creeping out their friends. It was kind of funny.
It's creepy. Yeah. I don't say no, but but that doesn't make a movie good. Because...
No, there's definitely better creepy doll movies out there. Yeah. But I didn't hate it. You know me. If I hate a movie, I'll turn it off.
Okay, I didn't hate it,
but at the same time, I didn't think it was that good.
I wouldn't watch it again.
Yeah, but the character itself is creepy.
Yeah,
it's just the characters weren't like the people in the movie weren't very likable. Oh. Like the lady who invented the doll, the killer doll, she was like really not very caring to her.
Like, why would they give the kid to her? She could care less. And she had too many deadlines in her life. She's way too busy of a human being. Yeah,
and she just came off as like not a caring person.
No, and they were begging her to say, we can give her to the grandparents on the other side of the family. Oh. No, I'll take care of her. Like, you don't have to do this. What?
Louis.
Oh. So yeah, but Megan, not my favorite movie. Way better ones I've seen, but lately, but not that one. But
yeah, like Chucky is a way better choice. Even the really crappy sequels.
Even Bride of Chucky's
Bride of Chucky, I really enjoyed.
Yeah, it knows what it is.
Jennifer Tilly is amazing.
Come on, what can?
The two of them together were so perfect. It was like peanut butter and jelly. They were perfect together. It was so fun. But even those goofy sequels were, I think, way better than the Megan
not all
movie.
The sequels are good, but definitely.
But that's just our opinion.
But Bride of Chucky was good, and the first Chucky movie came out of nowhere. I mean, come on, the dolls coming to life. I know they did it with Puppet Master.
Yeah.
The full moon ones, which were good too. The first couple Puppet Master movies are really good.
Yeah. Creepy. Puppet Master, those are cool.
What are people saying out there?
So let's read some comments. Bride of Chucky is my favorite Chucky movie, says Rebel Ghoul.
Good movie. Good choice.
And then, let's see.
Classic.
Love the Chucky series, says Albert. Yeah, I watched a movie called Clownado and... Wow. And stopped and I guess lost her faith.
Watch the Sharknado's great because it reinvented that whole stupid, made up thing. Even the second one's not too bad either. But for what they are, and of course they know, but they're doing that on purpose. It's just totally, And then Sears James says The Witchmaker from '68 on YouTube, thumbs up. So he's saying that's a good movie, and they have it on YouTube. The Witchmaker. I think I have that.
And Bone Jangler says Megan looks like one of the Olsen twins. Yes,
it does.
She looks like a creepy Olsen twin.
She looks like the Scarlet Witch, not the Mary-Kate and Ashley, but the one that plays Scarlet Witch.
Oh, the other one
in the Marvel movies. That's what she looks like.
A little bit.
I thought that's who they modeled it after.
Right.
Initially, yeah. Which but again, an uncanny valley, like you mentioned, you have to look that up.
Valley.
Explain that a little bit.
So, uncanny valley is something that looks like a person, but isn't quite. There's like something a little off.
We've all experienced this feeling.
It's a feeling. It's more like a feeling.
I just didn't know it had a term.
So if you go and maybe you're at a store and there's a creepy doll and the face kind of, you have to do a double take like, ooh. And you get like kind of an eerie feeling. That's uncanny valley.
Right. I had no idea there was that. But we've all felt this. We've all experienced this.
Or maybe there's a mannequin and the mannequin looks kind of real, but kind of not, and you just get a weird feeling because it's like, ooh, that doesn't look right. Yeah, that's the uncanny valley.
So check that out. More detail online if you want to look it up. But it's definitely a thing. So if you ever felt that, it's a thing.
If you ever got
like,
if you ever got like the creeps from like
willies.
A mannequin, a doll, stuff like that.
And that's what Megan does good. It does have the uncanny valley vibe.
It does have the uncanny valley factor.
Yeah. The best part of that movie to me was the kid in the woods where she like effed that kid up.
Oh, that's really wow.
It was pretty.
That was an intense
pretty
scene.
Graphic. Yeah.
Yeah. So there was this boy because
bully guy.
Like kind of like smacking the doll around and like acting really weird with the doll, and she comes to life and like pulverizes him.
Hurts his feelings.
Yeah. It's a really grotesque scene.
It's bad.
Yeah.
But it's a good bad. It's like that. Like you that one scene is just like the best part of the whole movie, just because it's really creepy and messed up. But the rest of it, I don't know. I could give it or leave it.
Sears says the Witchmaker has L.V. Moore in it, Mr. Kimball on Green Acres TV series.
Okay. I think I had that movie on VHS. Believe it or not. It's a weird looking movie.
And then let's see. Rebel Ghoul says, "Did y'all see the boy? It scared the crap out of me, movie. Which is weird because it's kind of corny. The boy? Oh,
but it's based on Robbie.
Oh, Robert.
Robert.
Oh,
it's based on the Robert doll.
I need to see that.
Now explain that.
Oh my gosh, it's a true story. It's based off of a true story.
Right?
Robert is in a museum, so there is a haunted doll, and he is legit haunted. Like, people at this museum have claimed to hear things and see things. There is quite a long history with the doll Robert. And he is supposed to have been like a handmade doll that had some kind of voodoo put on him. And this took place like Victorian era or maybe Edwardian era, like late 1800s, early 1900s.
BC, before Chucky.
Yeah, before Chucky, BC. And the doll would like move around.
Would he jump around
jump around
Cypress Hill style?
No. But if you look up the story on Wikipedia and on other websites, it's really, really creepy.
It is weird.
When you go see Robert in the museum, I have to look up to see what museum he's in.
You're supposed to be nice to him, right?
I would love to visit him. You're supposed to be really polite around him. You're supposed to ask permission to take the doll's picture. If you don't ask permission to take his picture, people have said bad things have happened to them, like their cars break down, they get really sick, maybe they lose their job, all kinds of weird stuff would happen.
They lose their car keys?
Like right after. Like if they don't act polite around Rupert, or Robert the doll. Not Rupert. Rupert's a different character. Paper.
Yeah. Rupert's a mouse. Christmas mouse.
But yeah, he's very creepy. Very creepy.
Yeah, look that one up. But yeah.
And with any antique or older vintage dolls, I find I'm always nice to them. Out of respect, in case they're haunted.
Good point.
All right, there's tons of comments here.
Okay, please, comment
that doll is really creepy, says Lois.
It looks creepy.
Portal says the ventriloquist doll from the Twilight Zone still freaks me out.
That's a good one. I was thinking about that, too.
John Biggins, Robert the Sailor Boy. You have to ask his permission to take his picture or he'll get you.
That's it.
Yes. Robert the doll looks like the Cracker Jack kid. Yeah, he does kind of have like he's wearing like a sailor outfit, and he's a very simple looking doll. He was all hand stitched by
but I guess
he was given to one of the kids in this like Victorian household. One of the maids made it, and I guess she was involved with voodoo rituals and things like that. So I guess it is, there's this whole history. Yeah, and the doll had a couple different owners and all kinds of weird stuff happened. Yeah, it's really weird. So, let's see. Okay. I have an original Danny O'Day doll, and I am never rude to that guy, says Rebel Ghoul. Dashcam Crete says the Ghoulies creatures would be good dolls.
That was just on Svengoolie. I think that's why they're bringing that up.
Oh, yeah, yeah. He played Ghoulies 1 and 2.
Back to back.
Yeah, and I love the puppetry in Ghoulies 1 and 2. So I did watch those episodes when Sven was hosting them.
And that's the stuff that you always talk about. Like, you like the more practical effects, and so do I, personally. But I'm not an anti-CGI guy, because to me, it's an evolution of that, but of practical.
Well, I like some CGI, but I really appreciate the practical effects, because I know someone was actually like building these props. It's mechanical. It's something that's tangible.
I'll never be able.
It's actually there in the room with the actors.
I know that, but I'll never be able to prove it, or I would be able to, But I would, if I could, if I had like 3 wishes, one of the wishes might be from a genie. If I could, take a CGI kit to Harryhausen back in time, show him that, and watch him throw all his clay and all his sculpting tools right in the garbage.
Oh, jeez.
This is what I'm talking about, not this crap. This is all I had. I don't know. I'll never be able to prove that. But we're all in love with what we remember. It's a nostalgic thing, but that's what was available at the time. And that stuff at the time, there might have been people mad about, I don't know what. Hey, I used to glue stuff on a lizard to make it look real. Now you're animating it.
Well, get a time machine and then we'll figure it out.
I just said that I can't do that. But it makes me wonder.
Why can't you?
Well, who knows?
I'm joking.
At this point in time, there's no time machine. But I think that way. I wonder if you could do that. If.
Rebel Ghoul says Elf on the Shelf is the creepiest doll. I'm glad my parents didn't traumatize me with that.
No one made a movie about that yet?
Yeah, we thought of it first.
No, we didn't.
Maybe. I wonder if there was an Elf on the Shelf scary movie. And what would it be called? That would be funny if they made a scary movie based on that.
I'm trying to think what rhymes with shelf. Self.
Shelf.
That's about it.
Yeah.
MILF.
Nah.
It's kind of crowbarring in it.
Not right. Dogum says Night Gallery. The doll was creepy.
There's a bunch of old TV shows that have creepy doll stuff, and movies as well.
Yeah, there's a ton of it.
Well, one of my favorite creepy doll movies, if we could just go into that, was does the Trilogy of Terror count with the
the little
the Zuni doll?
Yeah, the little doll. Yeah, technically it's a doll
with Karen Black
that comes to life.
Yeah, it's the Zuni fetish doll. Mm-hmm. That tries, and as a kid, as a wee ape, as I say, that scene where the spear is trying to get her under the door, that used to freak me out as a kid. I mean, we had a bathroom door too. How do I know something's not going to try to get me?
Hell on the Shelf, says Rebel Ghoul.
Hell you go.
There you go. Maybe they're
enough.
Like evil elves.
Hell
they have little
shelf.
devil horns or something. That's funny. Bone Jangler says the Ghost Adventures episode where they brought the real Annabelle to his museum. Zach touched Annabelle after being told repeatedly not to, and the handler was ticked off. Yeah, you're supposed to be respectful.
Now, the Annabelle doll's a Raggedy Ann doll, correct?
Yes.
The original.
Yeah, the original Annabelle doll was the Raggedy Ann doll. Yeah. And that has a lot of history as well. But I think the Robert one is even creepier. Yeah,
there could be something to. It's not the object itself, but it's the stuff that happens around it that it could absorb some bad mojo and then sort of house it. I mean, that could be what that is.
Yeah, maybe it's the energy or something. Yeah, the bad energy.
Because as we know, energy doesn't.
Energy can't be created or destroyed.
It's just sort of like
it transfers to other forms.
So it could be something like that.
So maybe. Okay. Let's see. There was a comment here, and I'm trying to see where it went.
Roll back. Roll north.
Let's see. What about blow-up dolls? Okay, yeah, we're not going to go there.
That would be another. That would be a good movie.
Yeah, maybe a killer blow-up doll.
That'd be great.
That'd be strange. Yikes.
I'd watch that.
And it would be a really easy prop. Practical effects.
Lagan.
All right, so what other movies have we seen?
Or TV shows.
TV shows.
But they have to be supernatural.
Well, we're watching Strange New Worlds. We finished the first season. We watched season 1 of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. I almost said Star Wars because I've been sorting through Star Wars figurines.
But you don't.
I like Star Trek better, in my opinion.
Yeah, Strange New Worlds is pretty good. I mean, they're totally. Like I said before, I think what they're doing with Star Trek now is picking up where Gene Roddenberry left off. I mean, they're exploring different types of things that are going on in society now, which would that's exactly what he did.
Yes.
Back in the 60s, it was all about civil rights and things like that, and a lot of that and both civil rights and equal rights for women, all that kind of stuff was all sort of, and now
because it takes place in the future, so you think in the future everyone's past all that,
right? But and they dealt with a lot of that in Next Generation and all the other iterations of Star Trek up until now.
Oh yeah.
What they didn't deal with was basically sexuality. They really didn't. It was more about race, and I think they deal with more of those sort of things. How people identify. They do a lot of that in the new Star Trek, all the new Star Trek stuff.
Yeah, it's there, but it's not like overbearing in my opinion. No, it's just like these characters are all different, and some happen to be...
They address it in these, and they never did in the Roddenberry ones. Some people said they did in Next Generation. There was some stuff about androgyny and things like that.
I don't remember
that. But nothing as direct as they do in the newer Star
There's
Trek
good stories, good characters, all different backgrounds, different...
The diversity is definitely
different, there. And they're all from all over the galaxy. Yeah. So
and in Strange New Worlds, which I thought was really great, is they flesh out Uhura's character.
Yes, it is cute to see young Uhura.
Right, and why she was, it seems like there was a point, according to the Strange New Worlds, where she might have bounced. She wasn't even going to be on the Enterprise anymore.
She wasn't sure if she was going to stay with the Federation.
She's a linguist. She likes languages, and she just and some of it she didn't even want to deal with because she didn't think she could actually take the whole exploration. She wasn't an explorer.
Yeah, she didn't know if she was tough enough to go explore and possibly be in battle.
And we won't give anything away, but there's something that happens with her that kind of
proved that she could do
that. Maybe that's her calling to be on a starship, and as opposed to a university somewhere or just doing independent language work or something. But it's good. It's really good. They flesh that out.
Ricky Bobby Sonia says, "Dear Janet, are you planning to see the Barbie movie on the big screen?"
That's up to you.
We're contemplating it. I do want to see the movie because it looks so really dumb fun, stupid fun.
Yeah.
And it's
but
just
define
goofy.
Big screen. I mean, some people have 70, 80, 100 inch screens.
They mean at the theater.
Yeah, but it's getting. But that line's blurring again. Everything. Look, to me, I'm noticing as I get older that everything seems to be about the Alan Thicke song, blurred lines. Things start blurring. Like what used to be here, like the norm. Nobody ever thought they were going to have a 60-inch screen, flat screen in their home one time, which might as well kind of be a big screen, although it's a lot
like a projector screen,
or like a movie screen.
Well, that's what I said.
Yeah, there's obviously
tomato.
There's a bigger difference, but you think about all the stuff, the pros and cons. At your house, you could pause the film. You're not interrupted by anybody on their cell phone or talking or anything.
That is a peeve. I really dislike it when you pay $20 to go see a movie, and there's someone sitting in front of you
who also paid
$20 to go see a movie.
I guess.
And they're just scrolling, and they're on their phone, and their phone is making noises, or they're talking really loud, or they have a bag of a snack, and it's
well, the snack thing is different.
They're crunching.
The snack thing is before the phones, which I always
all of it.
There's multiple things going on.
Or it's it really kind of ruins that experience of going to a
sometimes
movie.
It takes, especially if I'm
It's very distracting from trying to enjoy the movie when you see all that. And me, I try to put my phone away when I go see a movie. So I put the sound down and I try not to look at it.
So personally, I used to be the kind of person that would jump out when a movie came out. I had to see it right then and there.
Yeah.
But the TV we got now is pretty nice. You know, it's not even the greatest one, but it's pretty good. And I love watching movies on it. They're bigger than the screen I used to watch movies on as a kid. Yeah. You know, so I'm really happy with that. And I can wait a couple months.
Yeah, so, I mean, maybe I'll go see a matinee of it sometime, but, you know, I'm not, you know, it's not a big deal if I wait until it's on video.
Up until, like, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, you had to wait at least a year before a movie came out from the big... Now it, like, comes out in several months. I can wait. I can kind of wait. So not to be bothered by Mr. I have to look at the booty pics I just got in my email, or just say hi to my friend. Hey, what's up? Not much. What you doing? Nothing. Where you at? Why? I don't need to deal with that.
Talk to your friends later. You're here to watch a movie. We all paid tickets to see a movie, not play on the phone.
I'm the jerk for saying something that you shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, and then if you say something, then they get mad at you.
And then sometimes you're mad at me, like, don't say nothing. Well, I know, and you're right.
Because people
you don't
get
know what
really weird if you say something.
There's been really bad stuff that happened to people in movie theaters because of that.
And then, like, you know, they get mad that you're, like, calling them out on it.
Especially a bad movie. I'm not going to...
Yeah, so we just... I avoid a lot of that.
So, anyway, but...
I'm not a fan of that.
I can't sit tight. Sometimes I can't sit tight for that. I get...
So, I do like movie theaters. I especially the older building. Like, if you go to a town where they have a movie theater that's, like, from back in the day, you know, it's, like, 100 years old with all the cool, antique decor. But then, like, the people ruin it for me.
Yeah, but movie theaters are so quick to get stuff to DVD now, or to digital or whatever, that you don't have to wait a year anymore, or a year and a half. It used to literally be about a year and a half before whatever came out at the movie theater was available to rent or buy or whatever.
Right.
It's so much quicker now. To me, it's worth the wait. But yeah. You know,
so I don't mind waiting to go see
I miss the movies. I miss going to the movies and people behaving themselves.
But I don't miss the way people act now.
It's harder now.
At movie theaters.
It's so much, and you don't know.
Or like they'll take off their shoes, put their feet up.
That's an old thing, though.
Oh, that's so weird.
No. Well, they have recliners now in the movie theater.
Well, the reclining part I understand, but like they act, you know, people act like. Some people act like they're at home.
I read something about, or heard something about a story about theaters doing some shady stuff, like pretending that, or falsifying ticket sales, so you think you have. It's like weird. It's like you have to look it up.
I don't know about.
Yeah, so.
Some movie theaters now you have to like pick your seat in advance.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
It's kind of strange. I miss the old where you just get the ticket and you pick out your seat when you get there.
Well, some people were saying they're like, hey, we did that, and when we got to the theater, there was barely anybody in it. But when I went online, it said there's only 3 seats left. They go there's like 4 people in the whole. It's like weird.
Oh, maybe they only wanted to deal with like 3 people.
They're doing this weird thing. I forget what the whole, but it was a weird sort of yeah.
Huh.
So who knows?
Lois says, just don't go to the movies in the afternoon. Early evening shows are quiet. Most folks are having dinner. The kids have gone home.
That might be
and you don't have the drunks that go to the late shows.
Might be the sweet spot.
That might be the sweet spot. Go during dinner time. Yeah, maybe it would be quieter.
There was an old theater in it's called it was downtown Cleveland. It's all gone now. But it was a very, very old Severance. No, it wasn't Severance. It was some other old theater. I can't think of it. Doesn't even matter. But to the point where the seats were compromised, they weren't the best.
Yeah.
And I remember somebody saying, a friend of mine said they went to go see some movie, and they're watching. They're like kind of in the middle to the back, row, and they're watching the movie, and they hear this like creaky, crunchy sound. And you know how in front of you, it's like Mystery Science Theater. Like when you're in a theater, everyone in front of you is a silhouette, right?
Because you see the silhouette.
They just saw, like about 3 rows down from them, 2 pairs of feet flop up.
Oh, no.
The seat broke and they fell backward. They just saw feet flop up. And just sit there for a few minutes.
Oh, no.
Like, because they didn't know what, they were stunned, obviously. Their seat,
that's funny.
Seat, I guess they leaned back and the seat broke.
Well, hopefully they weren't hurt.
Yeah.
But that would be funny to see. Yeah, hopefully everyone's
that visual, even though I didn't see it, the way he explained to me, which I hope I did good here too, was that would be funny. I don't know.
Yeah. I go to the Capitol or Cedar Lee, and there are no reserved seats or weird pricing. You pay, you go in, sit where you like, says Lois. Well, that's good. That's old school. I do miss
a good old-fashioned going to the movies kind of thing. I love it.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll have to try it again and see if maybe it's a better experience. Yeah. But, okay, so we watched Star Trek, we watched Megan, we talked about that.
We're watching something now that has nothing to do with sci-fi or monsters.
Yeah, it's more about American history.
Yeah, it's
The Good Lord Bird.
Good Lord Bird.
Yeah, we only watched a few episodes of that.
You can't really ruin it for us, because you already know what's going to happen because they say what's going to happen in the beginning.
It's about like the goings-ons around the time of the Civil War.
Yeah, before the Civil War, it's John Brown and the abolitionist movement.
It's more of like a history piece.
I mean,
the costumes are cool. The actors are good.
Costumes.
Well, the work.
One episode feels like one whole movie.
Each one is like a big movie.
The first episode of this thing is amazing.
It is.
And you're sitting there and you're like, it's like even though I didn't like Django a lot because it was kind of.
It was okay.
Tarantino, he's kind of hit and miss with me.
Yeah, I don't like every Tarantino movie.
I didn't like that one that much. It was okay, but it was he's got better stuff. Mm-hmm. It's kind of Django. It's not like it's serious, obviously, because it's dealing with slavery and all that kind of stuff.
But it's action packed,
It's action packed. It's got
some gore. Humor, it has some intense scenes. Some humor. It's kind of all over the place.
But you still have to remind yourself what it's based in, is very
and most of it's based off of true history,
human
and it's
beings
like it's really
enslaved by
it's really messed up,
beings. And it's and they don't. And the good thing about this show is they totally confront it. They
confront how messed up it is.
Yeah, I mean, they give everyone a voice, and obviously, if you can't figure it out, I don't know, but but it's crazy. But the production values are great. The storytelling is beautiful. Again. That's what I'm saying. You're sucked into this universe, whether it's...
So we're 2 episodes in, and so far so good.
Oh my God, it feels like we watched 10 movies. It's crazy. I mean, it's done that well.
Yeah, and it kind of reminds me of how some good has kind of like even though it takes place...
Well, tell people about your Western kick.
Well, I like some Westerns.
You're getting into Westerns now. Well, you're watching...
I watch them sometimes.
Sometimes? It's your afternoons.
Not every afternoon, because now they're doing repeats.
She's like a big Doug McClure fan now. What's that show you want?
The Virginian?
The Virginian.
Yeah, it's background while I'm working on other stuff. Mm-hmm. I'll watch it in the background. Right. Bat Masterson. I like Bat Masterson.
He's got one outfit, that guy. A black vest and a maroon shirt.
Oh, the Virginian. Bat Masterson's got the bowler hat and the cape.
Yeah.
And the cane.
Yeah, but Westerns are great. I mean, they were popular for a long time for a reason,
Yeah.
Because that's the thing is like, when history is an amazing thing, obviously, but and I know these are dramatizations and it's not all accurate, and some of it, it's like, drama. But wow, I mean, some of it was kind of going on back then. This stuff was interesting. Humans were always humans.
Yeah.
And the Wild West is a really interesting point in it's like, I think a lot of cultures started like that, where you come into this place that's just sort of being settled. Where's the law? What's the law? You don't even know. I mean, it's insane. It's like crazy.
Mr. C says, Westerns on the wide screen is awesome. Bone Jangler says, Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is my favorite film of the last several years.
I gotta check that one out.
We'll have to check it out still, and we'll have to tell you a story about that.
It's hit and miss with me. Like I said, I love Tarantino's stuff. I mean, Pulp Fiction can't be denied. I know he wrote one of my favorite movies in the world is True Romance. Mm-hmm.
But he pretty much took Gary Kent's story and turned it into a movie. But Gary Kent should have been in it, I think.
Well, but he was old. I mean,
but I know he was also older. He should have been credited.
I don't know the whole.
Yeah. So that's I'll say about that.
But that's not the first time in Hollywood that's happened either.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people like to rip off each
other.
other.
But I'd love to see that. I haven't seen it yet. So.
Okay, Rifleman. Yeah, I like the Rifleman.
Chuck Connors.
Yeah. So Chuck Connors was also in my favorite horror film. One of my favorite horror films.
What?
Tourist Trap.
Oh, yeah?
He plays the killer in Tourist Trap.
We have not watched that.
It came out around the time of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I haven't seen that movie in decades.
And I love Texas Chainsaw Massacre a lot. Yeah. But I love Tourist Trap a little bit more because it has the Uncanny Valley. It has the creepy mannequin.
There's a good example.
I should have mentioned that earlier.
There's a good example with the jaws flopping open.
Yeah, the mannequins. And they're like, oh, it's so creepy. If you guys have not seen Tourist Trap, you are in for a treat.
Do yourself a favor.
It's way creepier than Megan. Way creepier than Chucky.
You've never seen anything like this
Way
before.
better than any of those movies.
Weird people.
Yes.
It's that whole Tourist Trap. It's named perfectly.
Yes. And what's her name was in that she was the mom in that 70s show. She passed away a few years ago. That, that one actress. She's in it. She's in that movie, too.
From Sheena.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
I can't think of her name right now.
Bone Jangler or not.
Yeah, I'm sure. So I'll read
Tanya Roberts.
Tanya Roberts is in it, too. Yeah.
Yeah. In her prime. Pretty good in Sheena, too.
Margot Robbie as Sharon Tate, badass as pastor of Muppets. Oh, they're talking about that one movie, the Tarantino movie.
Yeah, Margot Robbie, yeah.
Yeah, I guess she's in that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Margot Robbie's cool. Jimbo and the Seven Samurai are great Japanese westerns, says Mott Just. Mott Just.
Well, and that's where Tarantino and Lucas, all these guys...
They all borrow from that.
They get from all... Yeah, oh my God, yeah, please.
And Mr. C says, Chuck Connors was known to be a very kind dude, always signed and posed for a picture.
Yeah, good character actor, good actor.
And Bone Jangler says Tanya was a friend of his.
Oh, Tanya, she was so... Man, wow.
She was a beautiful actress.
Oofa.
Yeah. Okay, so we're probably going to wrap this up in a little bit here. I think we'll read a few more comments. But
you know another beautiful actress out there?
Who?
Janet J.
Who?
Janet J.
Oh, sounds like some tramp.
It's pretty hot though.
If you say so.
If you ask me.
Okay, let's see. Tourist Trap actually creeped me out and I didn't expect it, says Rebel Ghoul. Yeah, it's one of my favorite, like, kind of grindhouse era scary movies.
There was a sweet spot to me in Hollywood with, like, horror movies, almost with any kind of movie.
Yes.
Because it wasn't, like, formulaic at the time. Everything was sort of just kind of oddly put together. And then after, like, I think in the late 80s into the 90s, things got to be formulaic, for lack of a better term, where things got to be, but they were trying strange stuff. They would do very weird stuff with movies.
Yeah.
In the 70s and 80s.
Very experimental.
60s was kind of
with the slashers and the weird story ideas and characters.
60s and the early 70s movies, I'm like pulling myself to understand what's going on. Because you could see the evolution of the storytelling. Mm-hmm. In the mid 70s and 80s, it got really weird. There's so like
I think people had felt like maybe they had more freedom to make more movies how they wanted to creatively.
Yeah, they did, and they
were able to show more and do more stuff, and it was even scarier.
Right, you're right. So
than what they were able to do in the past.
You went from like because obviously movie making from the beginning, like from the early 1900s and stuff. They're experimenting with, storytelling, and it was really interesting what they were doing then, because they had to get past the sound thing. They had to really emote and do some really interesting stuff, and sets and visuals were real big. And then it got to more into the weird drama stuff. The pre-code movies era time, very interesting.
I still would love to do a whole vlog or whole video just on pre-code films.
Such a different
There's a lot
vibe.
Of them that I saw, so during the pandemic. And when we were sick at home with COVID,
just sitting around,
I was watching all those old movies on YouTube.
And open your eyes up. There's like so
and I'm
much
like,
crazy
wow,
stuff. Yeah.
There's a lot of good stuff.
Total different vibe. And then it got real formulaic in the 40s, and where it got kind of stale and kind of just like but it wasn't bad. But it wasn't. And then in the 60s and 70s, the movies were really weird. To me, when you watch a lot of those movies, you're like going, why don't you do this that we know now to do? But they didn't figure it out. But I say between the mid-70s until the late 80s, things were nuts. I mean, there's some really interesting, creative, like The White Worm and like, you know, all kinds of different movies. You know, Tourist Trap, in any genre. Very strange. And then it got to be, well, Hollywood was like, well, what worked and how can we make the most money? And then, because basically, that's, unless you talk about independent films, but Hollywood itself is a business. And the movies have to bring in, you know, these studios have to bring in revenue, and they play it safe, and they go formulaic.
Yeah, they don't do a lot of, I'm not seeing a lot of creative stuff or chance-taking.
Woman in White is a really weird movie.
Okay.
But there's a lot of that
I'll have to see it sometime.
Oh, I love that movie.
So, okay. Let's see. There's Greg says Janet J was good in Revenge of the Spacemen. Whatever happened.
She was amazing in that movie.
So that's a Troma film.
It's actually a good movie.
It's actually a Troma film.
Well, they own it. They distribute it.
They distribute it, yes. So technically, she's a Troma screenplay.
Jay Summers production.
Made by Jay Summers. Yeah. Shout out to Jay. So yeah, that's it's a fun movie.
Yeah, there's still a lot of good stuff, and that's why I still go to independent movies to find some new stuff. I do like Hollywood still. I know they're having issues now. Well deserved, you know. With the actors should get what they, and the writers should have.
People should get fair pay, and they should get, you know, compensated for their work.
Yeah.
Because when you're getting thrown pennies and the CEOs are making billions, that's not
There's got to be some people that are in
unethical.
Iconic movies now that are like making less than we do, and everyone's talking about how great those movies are. Yeah. And they're like, I can't pay my electric bill.
Yeah. Meanwhile, they're waiting. You know, they're bussing tables at the Applebee's or something because they're trying to get.
Their asses should be kissed in
no, but give them a fair. Get a fair pay scale.
But if because where they're at is because, you know, they were cut off, like it reminds me of that Motown thing. You know?
Well, luckily we're not SAG, so we're not you know, on the picket line or anything.
But we're broke too, so
yeah.
But we're electively broke. We're not broke by the system. I don't know, but you know, more power to those guys out there. Fight, you know. And it makes total sense. You know, when it comes to these strike stuff. So don't feel bad for them. Or, I mean, don't feel bad for the studios. Feel bad for the actors.
Yeah, or, like, even the extras, like, you know, or people working behind. Like, there's a lot going on there, and there's a lot of people that just weren't getting treated right.
I'll take that back, because I think there are a lot of people that make their living off of being extras. But how many, though?
I don't want to get too into it. This is more of a lighthearted, let's enjoy movies show right now.
I thought we were going to get into hardcore politics now.
No, we're not. We're not doing that.
Meet the press.
That's asking for trouble.
Meet the depressed. No, we're not going to do that.
All right, gang. Well, we are going to sign off. I am one tired little ghoul here, and hopefully you guys have a nice night.
Yeah, sorry.
So, again, good night, good fright. Mwah! See you around.
See you later, alligators.
Thank you.